In this lesson, we're going to learn more about block and inline elements as well as special characters. Remember, block elements begin on a new line. We've already learned about two block elements, headings and paragraphs. Today we'll learn about lists, block quotes, pre-formatted text, and addresses. There are three kinds of lists: unordered lists, ordered lists, and definition lists. As we already mentioned, lists are block elements, meaning they start on a new line. Lists are complex elements. It takes more than one tag to create a list. Lists are actually used much more often than you may realize. They're frequently used to make navigation and styled with CSS, so it never even looks like a list. Unordered lists use the UL element. Between the opening UL and the closing UL, you use the list item element to specify each item in the list. The list item element is specified with the LI tag. The example has three list items: apples, oranges, and bananas. The default styling for an unordered list is bullets. Ordered lists work just like unordered lists, except they use the OL element. The LI element is again used to specify items in the list. The default styling for ordered lists uses numbers. A definition list uses three tags. The DL element opens and closes the definition list. The DT element contains the term you want to define, and the DD contains the definition of that term. The example here contains two terms and two definitions. The default styling for a definition list indents the definition. Block quotes are used for long quotations. They can contain other block elements like paragraphs or headings. Default styling for a block quote indents the text. In the example, a paragraph containing a Chinese proverb is indented using a block quote. As we've already learned, browsers usually ignore white space in an HTML document. If you use the pre-formatted text element, text will be displayed exactly as you type it. White space will not be ignored. This can be useful for some text like poetry, but should not be abused. The address element is used to provide contact information for the author or maintainer of the current document. You should not use it for all addresses. As you can see from this example, the default styling for address element is italicized text. Unlike block elements, inline elements do not start on a new line. We've already looked at the anchor element and the image element. Today we'll also look at strong, emphasis, bold, italics, subscript, superscript, big, and small. Both the bold and strong element by default make the text bold. So which one should you use? Use strong to emphasize a word or phrase, and use bold for highlighting words or for visual effect. Most web designers use strong today. Here's an example using the strong element and the bold or B element. The same is true for italics and emphasis. Use the EM element to emphasize a word or phrase, and use the I element to highlight words for visual effect. Here's an example of the emphasis element and the italics element. The sub element is used to make subscripts, and the sup element is used to make superscripts. Here's an example of the superscript element and the subscript element. Big and small make the enclosed text bigger or smaller. Here's an example of the big element and the small element. And finally, special characters. HTML uses the ASCII character set, which contains letters, numbers, and a few symbols. To represent characters that are not in the ASCII character set or are reserved by HTML, you must use the special character code. There are hundreds of special character codes. All of them have a number code, but some of the most popular have a name. For example, the copyright symbol can be represented as #copy, or ## #169 semicolon. Here are a few of the many special character codes. The non-breaking space creates a blank space and is often used in blank paragraphs or table cells. Other common special characters include the ampersand, the copyright, the less than symbol, the greater than symbol, a quote, bullet, n dash, m dash, lowercase n tilde, and inverted question mark. So that's it for Lesson 3. Thanks for watching.